Good evening, all. Good evening,
Good
children.
evening, sir.
How are you all?
Good evening. Fine, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine. So,
Good evening, sir.
good evening. How it's going? How it's going, children?
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. In the last class, what we were discussing, beta?
Sir, the question paper.
Question paper discussion. So today, what shall we do? We have done with the real numbers, and we are about to start with the new topic. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
We were solving the question based upon real numbers as well. So, and how many of you are doing your worksheet questions? How many of you are doing your worksheet question, guys?
Sir,
Sir,
I'm
we need
breaking
to
it.
share the real number worksheet.
No, I gave, sorry.
Real number worksheet, where did you share, sir? I can't see.
Yes, sir. I also didn't get any worksheets.
No.
Yeah, sir, even me
See
also.
here, I just shared. If you observe that properly, you will get to see everything properly. Look at it. I'll share it to you. I mean, I'll show it to you now. Look at this. If you open your class 10th like Google Classroom, go through classwork, and here real numbers. Sorry, here worksheet. If you open it, look at this here. Look at this. You can see here. If you open this, look at this, real numbers, polynomials, and trigonometry. These three topics worksheet given to you. It is loading. Wait, look at this. This is what real numbers. Look at this. After this, you have polynomials lesson. This
Sir, we did complete
and
trigonometry.
after that, you have trigonometry. So you just go with the topic which we are going. Look at real numbers. So it's all real numbers. You can see that no one is opening that and just looking at that worksheet. And also look at this here. In it will be under worksheet, and the quadratic equations also I just uploaded. Quadratic equation I told, right, that question bank. So
Yes,
this
sir.
was,
Level 1, level 2.
yes, level 1, level 2, level 3, all that I have just uploaded here, as well as real numbers, polynomials, and trigonometry also uploaded. Please go through that, solve everything. Topic wise you have to solve. Okay. Yes. So today, if you go through your syllabus once, so I will show it to you. Look at this. So real numbers. So shall we go with the polynomials today? Shall we go with the polynomials, children?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We'll go with the polynomials today. Yutika, Sudipta, Vivek, Udbhav, Saranya, Bhumika, Shreyan,
Sir, I'm speaking.
Charan, Satvik, Dipsika,
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Modita. Modita, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay. I request you all to speak in the class. Respond to my questions.
Okay, sir.
So today, polynomials. So polynomial is nothing but beta. Already you learned in class 9. You will not be having anything new here. Everything would be same. Almost it would be the same. but the only difference would be somewhat the depth of the questions would be somewhat different, and I mean depth of the question would be somewhat high, as well as you'll be solving kind of advanced level questions from the topic. Okay, yes. So shall we begin? I request to you all, please come up with your doubts from a worksheet. If you have any doubts, please do solve it. All the questions, given to you for practice. Okay, people. So please do practice, do solve every day, involve in the process. If at all you are not revising the notes, if at all you are not solving the worksheet, there is no point of attending the classes. Beta, please kindly I request everyone, go through the worksheet every day, do solve it. All right. Yes. So can anyone of you define what exactly the polynomial is? Nothing but?
The constant and variable.
Sorry?
Constant and variable.
Polynomials.
Sir, a variable with a natural number as a power.
Sorry? Yes, yes.
A,
The constant and variable.
Mhm. Yes. How can you define other than that? Yes, yes. Tell me, what do you mean by polynomial? Yes, you studied polynomials lesson, so you can define it very easily. Tell me.
Yeah, poly means for poly means for nominals means many for
Hmm.
which has four and more terms is known as polynomials.
Poly means many. So, an algebraic expression containing variables and different powers.
Okay.
Sir, an algebraic expression with more than two terms.
Sorry.
An expression with more than two terms.
Yes. Having. One second, guys. So what is the problem? Yes, very good, Akshara. See, I should see Sai Charan, very good. Dipsika Charan, very good. Very good, guys. See, I was like waiting for your response. Many of you are not responding. It's fine, but many of you are respond happy for that. But look at this. A poly means what? Many. Nominal means terms, many terms. Basically, many terms. Let me tell you what. Look at this. First of all, you should know what is algebraic expression. Algebraic expression is what made up of variables and constant along with mathematical operations. Correct? Isn't it better? That is algebraic expression. So first of all, you should know what is algebraic expression.
Yes, sir.
Algebraic expression is made up of what? Variables, constants, along with mathematical operations. Variables and constants along with mathematical operators. Okay, clear? So basically we just in algebraic expression we learned many things. So what are they? We learned what is coefficient, what is term, what is exponent, everything we learned, right? So if you know algebraic expression, then only you will be understanding what exactly the polynomial is all about. Okay, now let's get into what exactly polynomial. Polynomial. Okay. Having more than a term in an expression. Polynomial is an expression. Do you agree with my point? Polynomial
Yes,
is
sir.
an
Yes,
expression
sir.
which is having more than a term. Now look at it. Here you can define it in another way as well. An algebraic expression, polynomial is an expression. You write an algebraic expression can have exponents that are rational numbers So basically, look, algebraic expression can have exponent that are rational numbers. So however, you can say, however, you write this as a, however, a polynomial is an algebraic expression in which the exponent on any variable is a whole number. An algebraic expression can have exponents that are rational numbers. However, a polynomial is an algebraic expression in which the exponent on any variable is a whole number. So basically, you can define in this way as well. So let me take an example. Look at this now. Let me take an example. 3x square plus 4x plus 1. Okay, it is a polynomial or not now? Look at this. You have 1, 2, 3 terms here. So having more than a term is a polynomial. Okay. So you say, look at this here. Now tell me, beta, I'll write one thing here. 2x plus 9 root x. Whether it is a polynomial or not, check.
No, sir, it's
It is not a polynomial. What I told,
because
the power of the variable should be a whole number. Because here all the powers of the variables are whole numbers. Here, power of the variable is not a whole number. Look at this. Here, this can be written as 2x plus 9x to the power of 1 by 2. So this is not a polynomial. It is a polynomial. It is not a polynomial.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Yes. So very simple. And so basically, how do you define? How do you notate? How do you notation? Or notation of polynomial is what? You can denote p of x. P of x is nothing but polynomial in a variable called x. You can write an example like, look at it, 9x square minus 5x plus 11. Anything you can write. Correct? So if here variable is denoting with what x, so function is in terms of x. That is the meaning of that. Correct? Yes. This is notation. Basically notation. Next, shall we go with the like degrees of polynomial? Degrees of polynomial. You write degree of polynomial, not degrees. Degree of polynomial. Degree of polynomial. Degree of a polynomial. So degree of a polynomial is what? Basically, degree of the polynomial is defined as highest degree of the monomial, highest power of the variable. Correct? Look at this. Let's say you take an example, any example. Let's say that 0 polynomial or constant. zero or constant polynomial. Let's take an example. Let's say 6. What is the degree of this? Degree is what?
0.
Let me write, example.
Sir, is it
Okay, 0 degree. Next, linear polynomial. Yes, tell me. If I say 3x,
1.
what's the degree? 1. Next, quadratic polynomial. All you know this, guys. I'm revising one more time. Quadratic polynomial, you can write this as 9x square minus 5x plus 4. What is the degree? 2. Correct? So power of the variable, highest power of the variable, I should check. Any doubt, guys? Next, cubic polynomial. You can write
3.
like this: 9x cube plus 4x square plus 5x plus 9. So next, quartic polynomial. Quartic polynomial. Look at this here. What is the standard form of this? You can write 9. You can write anything. 5x to the power of 4 plus 3x cube plus 9x square plus 5x plus 6. 4 is the degree. Correct? So basically, this is how you can just define the degree of the polynomial. What is that highest power of the variable? Highest power of the variable. Next, let's learn about types of polynomials. I'm revising one more time, guys. Types of polynomials. What are the types we learned? What are the types of polynomials we learned?
Quadratic
Based on
polynomial.
degree, right?
Yes, monomial,
Monomial,
Based on
Binomial
degree.
and polynomial.
trinomial, and so on. You say multinomial and all. See, monomial means having one term, binomial, trinomial, and zero polynomial, cubic, linear, quadratic, cubic, quartic, and so on. So monomial means what? Having one term. Binomial means two terms. Trinomial means three terms. Is it clear? Isn't it, people? You all know this. So next, so basically, look at this here. Types of polynomials. What? Number of terms. And see, basically, types of polynomial can be classified as how? Based upon what factors? Types of polynomials can be classified based upon the factors. What is that? The factors based upon the number of terms and degree of the polynomial. Correct? See, the number of terms, based upon the number of terms and degree of the polynomial, you can decide what type of polynomial is that. Isn't it? These are the factors. Polynomial is basically nothing but beta. What is the meaning of polynomial? Having a term or more than a term. Having a single term or more than a term is what? Polynomial basically. Look at this. Poly means many terms. Very simple, is many terms. Okay. So you can say types of polynomials based on what? Number of terms. What are they? Monomial, binomial, trinomial. Okay, like that. And types of polynomial based on degree is what? Linear, quadratic, cubic. So the polynomials which I wrote here, they are based on the degree. Based on the degree.
Yes, sir.
Based on degree, isn't it? Based on degree. Here, these are what? Based on number of terms, isn't it? So basically, what are the factors to define the types of polynomials? Number of terms and degree of the polynomial. Based upon these two factors, you can just you can just define the types of polynomial. Correct? Yes. Very simple, beta. And graphical representation of the polynomial is what?
Silly.
Graphical representations, you say simply. Okay, so representing equations on a graph. How can you represent? First, suppose you have a simple equation. Let's say that x is equal to y. X is equal to y. What is this? How the graph is going to be? This is how the graph is going to be, isn't it? If you take beta, look at how the graph is going to be. This is how the graph y.
Pass to the origin.
Yes, why? Because x is equal to y. If x is equal to 0, then y also would be 0. X is
0.
equal to 1, y also will be 1. If x is equal to 2, y is also 2. So now look at this here. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and so on. Look at this, 1, 1, 2, 2 here, 3, 3, and so on. Minus 1, 1, minus 2, like that. So it will be a linear graph. Correct? Understood my point? I mean, x is equal to y graph would be like this. And now if I say any equation, something like linear polynomial, graph for linear polynomial. Graph for linear polynomial. Look at this, beta. If I have something like look at the graph for linear polynomial would be something like this. Clear? Graph of the beta, how the graph of the, it will be straight line.
Yes, sir.
The graph of the linear polynomial will be straight line. So it cuts the x-axis exactly at one point. Cuts the x-axis exactly at one point. Cuts the x-axis exactly one point. Next, graph for the quadratic polynomial would be how?
So U shape, parabola.
Parabola shape. Very good.
Parabola.
Quadratic polynomial, how it would be like this? It will be like
Parabola.
this.
U shape.
This is a parabola shape. So basically, graph of the quadratic polynomial would be parabola. How the graph would be? Parabola graph. Parabola. Okay. It looks like U shape, like U shape. Okay, isn't it?
Yes.
So basically, but it looks like a U shape. It will be like this, or it will be like this. It can be like this. It can be like this. Depends on what? Depending on the value of a. Depending on the value of a. Look at it. The standard form of the quadratic polynomial is this one, right? Ax square plus bx plus c. That is the standard form. What is the standard form of the linear polynomial? Ax plus b. 1 second. Okay, standard form of the quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. So it depends on the a value, the graph, it would be opening upwards, opening downwards, opening left side, right side. It will be depends on the value of a actually, correct? Yes. Now,
Yes.
but if a is positive,
Graph open upwards.
okay, if a is positive, if a is positive, parabola open upwards, correct? And if a is negative, parabola open downwards. Okay. And basically it can cut the x-axis at two different points. Look at this here. Here 1 point, here 1 point. It can cut the x-axis at 2 points. It can cut like that. Understand my point? See, let me tell you the different cases here. Let me draw somewhat simple. I taught you in quadratic equations. If you remember, it is cutting a x-axis at 2 points. It is cutting, it just touches the x-axis. All right.
Yes, sir.
It's not, it will not touch the x-axis, something like that. Neither touches nor cuts. It will be, this is how the graph of the quadratic, polynomial would be. Correct? Understood my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, one more beautiful thing we have to learn here. Graph of the polynomial. Look at it here. Graph of the polynomial x to the power of n. How the graph of this polynomial would be? Think. Where
Sir,
n is a
it
whole
will
number.
touch the x-axis n number of times.
Where n is what? Whole number. Sorry?
It will touch the graph n number of times.
Sorry?
Sir, it will touch the graph n number of times.
Yes. See, here basically what happens here, as n increases, the graph becomes steeper, isn't it? The graph becomes steeper or draws closer to the y-axis. Try to understand what I'm saying here. I'll draw and show it to you. If n increases, the graph becomes steeper. How? Steeper, or you say draws closer to the y-axis. Correct? If n is odd, the graph, very important guys, the graph lies in the first and third quadrant. First and third quadrants. If n is even, what? The graph lies in the first and second quadrant.
First, second and fourth quadrant.
Graphs second, and you say first only. Can I say this? I'll show you once. 1 second.
Wait, sir, what about the fourth one?
The fourth one, yes, we are missing fourth one. Second and fourth one. Now look at this beta here, very simple. See, graph of the polynomial with the different degrees. N could be different, right? N value can be anything. It's a whole number, right? So the graph can be like this. If y is equal to x square, the graph will be like this. Okay. And if you just keep, the graph will be like this. If n increases, the graph will become steeper. I told, right? Like this. And you draw like this. Like this. Like this. It become like that. You understand my point? What I'm trying to say? If this is y is equal to x square graph, something like this. This is y is equal to something x to the power of 6, 7, anything you say. This is how the graph becomes. So basically, these are the things you need to follow, guys. And one more thing. What is the graph of this thing is going to be? If at all you have something like this, minus x to the power of n, the graph of this thing is what? Same. Look at it. How whatever the graph of x to the power of n, you have reflection to that, isn't it? Guys, x to the power of minus x to the power of n graph would be how? It will be reflection reflection to the y is equal to x to the power of n. That's it. Isn't it, guys? If x to the power of n
Yes,
graph, you have something like the reflection to that graph is what? X to the power of, sorry, minus x to the power of n graph. Very simple. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Next, zeros of polynomial. Zeros of a polynomial. Guys, are you able to understand? Girls, boys, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Akshara, Bhargav, Shreyan, Modita, Mohit, Pranav, Sai Charan, Udbhav,
yes, sir. I'm able to understand.
Yukta. Yukta, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. Saranya.
Yes, sir.
Saranya, I think one more Saranya is there in class 9. Your sister? No.
No, sir.
I thought. Okay, okay, no problem. Zeros of a polynomial. Next, zeros of a polynomial. Very, very good concept. Zeros. Beta zero, you say a zero of zero of a polynomial p of x is the value of x for which the value of p of x for which the value of p of x is 0 if k is a 0 of p of x, then you write that as p of k is equal to 0. Correct? For example, let me tell you an example. For suppose you write p of x, any polynomial, let's say that 3x square minus 4x plus 2. So when x is equal to 1, when x is equal to 1 or anything you take, then the value of what p of x is what? Then p of x is what? P of 1 is equal to 3 into 1 square minus 4 into 1 plus 2. Correct? So p of 1 is going to be what? 1, 1, so 3 minus 4 plus 2. So 1. P of 1 is what? 1. Now tell me, guys, whether it is a 0 or not. Now 0 is nothing but solution. So this is not a solution. It is not a solution. Let me take one more example. It is not a solution. Let me take one more example. I'll show you. Let's say p of x is equal to, you take anything, Rababu, x square minus 3x plus 2. When x is equal to 1, then what happens? P of 1 is what? 1 minus 3 plus 2. So 3 minus 3. So P of 1 is equal to what now? 0. So P of 1 becomes 0. So what? So since you write P of x is equal to 0 at x is equal to 1, then we say that 1 is a, then we can say that 1 is a 0 of the polynomial x square minus 3x plus 2. Correct? Isn't it? Understood my point? 0 is nothing but a root, kind of root, you say. Isn't it, beta?
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
people.
Yes.
Here we didn't get p of 1 is equal to 0 here. So now 1 x is equal to 1 is not a root of this polynomial. X is equal to 1 is a root of this polynomial. Both are different. Check. Both polynomials are different, I gave. Is it clear, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next.
Sir,
Next concept, number of zeros. Next concept is number of zeros. Number of zeros. But if a polynomial degree is n, then how many zeros we will be having? Guys, we know that generally, you know that a polynomial of degree n has at most n zeros. Correct? If degree is n, you will be having n zeros, which means n roots. But let's say that 3x cube plus 9x square plus 4x plus 2, 3. This is my cubic polynomial, which means what is the degree of this? 3. So how many zeros I'll be having now? 3 zeros. If degree is 3, I'll be having 3 zeros. If degree is n, I'll be having n zeros. As simple as that. So from this, you can write a couple of points. And then a linear polynomial, you can say that how many a linear polynomial has what now? A linear polynomial has how many zeros? How many zeros?
One, sir.
One.
Has 1 0. Guys, I'm writing all these basic points. Okay, we'll be solving the questions in the next class, but first let's finish all theory part and introduction part. Concept what we'll be discussing in this class. In the next class, I'll be discussing fully questions. Next, a quadratic polynomial has at most next clear? Yes. Basically, how to factorize the polynomials now. Factorization of polynomials. How to factorize this? By splitting middle term method, isn't it? Isn't it, beta?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know that. So let's say that example. So 2x square minus 5x plus 3. It is what is this now? It is a polynomial. How do you split this as? How do you factorize this? This can be written as what? So 3x, or you write this as 2x minus 3x plus 3. So 2x common, so x minus 1 minus 3 common, x minus 1. Again x minus 1 common, 2x minus 2. So this is how we can factorize this basically. Correct? Isn't it, guys? Any doubts?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Very simple. Already you learnt all this. I need a response from every one of you people. Yukta, Charan, good Charan. Fantastic. Very good, Yukta.
Yes, sir.
Yukta, Dipsika, good Dipsika. See, I see that only Pranav, Yukta, and Charan, Sai Charan, Dipsika, and Akshara. Only these people are responding. Others are not responding. I mean, they are not putting answers in the chat box.
Sir,
Others
I'm
are
responding, sir.
Voice.
Sir, even I'm responding, sir.
Good. I'm talking about chat box. Good. Yes. Aditi, Harini, and these people are also responding. Mohit, everyone, Kavya, everyone responding. But others, I don't see the people who are responding. Let me tell you the names. Vivek, Udbhav, Satvik, Modita.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Bhumika, these people are not responding.
Sir, I am responding orally. I'm not responding in the chat.
Who is that?
Bhumika.
Yes, Bhumika. So I don't recognize the voice actually. Okay, fine. Good. Very good, beta. I know the Bhumika will respond, frequently, but I don't recognize the voices of all students here. So that is the reason.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Very good, good. Okay, next we'll talk about now relationship between zeros and coefficients. And coefficients of a polynomial. Coefficients of a polynomial. Besa, look at this here. For quadratic polynomial, we'll talk about for quadratic polynomial. For quadratic polynomial, what is the relationship? Same as like as quadratic equations only. If alpha and beta are the roots of the quadratic polynomial, then alpha plus beta is what? Standard form of this quadratic polynomial is this one. Next, if alpha and beta are the roots of a quadratic polynomial, then alpha plus beta is what? Minus b by a. Alpha beta is what? C by a. We already learned this. You know this. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Beta, sum of the zeros, product of the zeros. How can you say this? Sum of the zeros. Zeros is nothing but roots, isn't it? Zeros are roots. You say some, I say zeros. Let me say these are zeros. Zeros of a quadratic polynomial. Then alpha plus beta is what? Sum of the zeros is equal minus coefficient of what? X divided by coefficient of x square. Next here, what is that? Here constant, I mean product of the zeros.
Constant by coefficient of x square. X square.
Okay, very simple. This is for quadratic polynomial. Then for cubic polynomial. Actually, we should have learned polynomials first, but we learned quadratic equation. Not an issue big at all. Very simple. If cubic, right? So I have to take 3 zeros, and gamma are the roots, or you say zeros, of a cubic polynomial. Then cubic polynomial, what type of? Ax cube plus bx, bx square plus cx plus d. This is a cubic polynomial or not? Yes. Then
Yes, sir.
you say that
Yes, sir.
alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to what? Minus b by a. Then alpha beta, beta gamma, gamma alpha is equal to what? C by a. Okay. Then product of the roots is what? Alpha beta gamma is minus d by a. I'll tell you what is this beta. Sum is minus b by a, as like as quadratic polynomial only. But here this is the different one. What is the meaning of this? Sum of the product of the two roots at a time. What is that? Sum of the product of the two roots. Look at it, two roots at a time. Product of the two roots I'm taking and adding all those. Then what I'm getting? I'm getting C by A. Okay. Is it fine? Clear? Yes. Then product of the
Yes,
roots
sir.
is what? Minus D by A. Sum of the roots is minus B by A. Product of the roots is minus D by A actually. Then summation of product of two roots at a time is minus C by A. So that is how we just will be doing. Next, basically look at how to divide a polynomial. Everyone knows that by using long division method you can do that. Correct? Isn't it, people?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
And you should know a couple of algebraic identities as well. What is a plus b whole square? Algebraic identities. Algebraic. Is there anyone who don't know how to divide polynomial? Identities. Guys, we'll be solving fully Olympiad questions in next class. Everyone knows that a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, A plus b into a minus b. Okay, a cube minus b cube. Many children do not know the formula is this formula. A cube minus b cube is what? A minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Okay. Next, a cube plus b cube formula is a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. Next, a plus b whole cube formula is a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. Next, a minus b whole cube formula is a cube minus b cube minus 3ab into 3a minus b. Correct? Isn't it, people? Any
Yes,
doubts?
sir.
Okay, this is how the formulas will be doing
So
that.
solar.
Yes. Sorry.
So once can you scroll down, sir? This one.
Yeah. So these are then a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b, a plus a plus b whole square. If you want to write, you can write a minus b whole square, a square plus b square plus 2ab, a square minus b square plus b square minus 2ab, and a plus b into a minus b is equal a square minus b square. Everyone knows all this, but still I'm revising one more time. No problem. Very simple. Hope it is clear, guys. Next, shall we jump
Yes.
into the questions now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll be sharing these notes to you all. Do not worry at all. If you are not writing, it is fine. Even you are missing somewhere, it is fine. You can just go through the notes and just catch it, the notes through Google Classroom. Okay. Now, first question I'll give you here is, determine the quadratic polynomial whose zeros are 5 minus 3 root 2 and 5 plus 3 root 2. Determine the quadratic polynomial whose zeros are this and this.
So it is so let's see the answer.
Sorry.
So let's see the answer.
Yes. First, sum of the zeros. First, we have to do sum of the zeros. What is the sum of the zeros? If I take this as
Minus b.
alpha, if I take this as beta, for quadratic polynomial, sum of the zeros formula is what? Alpha plus beta. Right? For quadratic polynomial. So 5 minus
Yes.
3 root 2 plus 5 minus, so 5 plus 3 root 2. So plus 3 root 2 minus 3 root 2 will get cancelled. So 10. Alpha plus beta is 10. So then product of the zero is what? Product of zeros is what? Alpha beta is equal to minus c by a. Or else you write first of all some product of the roots. Right? So product of the roots will do like this. We'll multiply both the things. A square minus b square. So 25 minus 9 to 18. So which gives me 7. Correct? Isn't it, people?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So 7 I got. Then required polynomial is what? Quadratic polynomial. Let me say p of x is equal. First of all, you have to write x square minus sum of
10x.
zeros into x plus product of zeros. That is the
Yes.
formula, product of zeros. If you remember or not, we wrote a formula called p of x is equal to a square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha
X
beta.
plus.
This is the formula, correct? Now look at it here. We substitute simply here. So therefore, p of x is equal to what now? X square minus alpha plus beta is what we got? 10. So minus 10 plus 7. This is the required quadratic polynomial. Very, very simple, guys. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Very simple. And I'll give a question. Look at here. Find the zeros. Find the zeros of the quadratic polynomial 6x square minus 3 minus 7x. Okay, and also verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient of a polynomial. Clear? So look at this here. This is the quadratic polynomial given to you. We have to find out zeros and also verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient of the polynomial. How can we solve this? First of all, let's find out the zeros. How can you find out zeros? How can you find out the zeros?
By splitting middle terms, we have to find.
Splitting middle term method.
By using splitting middle term. Okay. So basically, for finding zero, what we have to do? Let p of x is equal to this. Then we have to equate to the zero. Correct? For finding zeros, beta, you have to equate to the zero. So 7x square minus 7x minus 3 is equal to 0. So 18 can be written as what? How can you write this as 9 2's 9x plus 2x. So 6, you can just take common from these 2x common. So 3x plus 1 minus 3 common. So 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Again 3x plus 1 common. 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So what are the zeros we get now? X is equal to minus 1 by 3, 1 0, as well as x is equal to 3 by 2, another 0. Correct? Any doubt, guys?
Yes. No, sir.
So now these are the zeros I got. So let me take this first zero as alpha and let me take this as beta. Correct? Isn't it?
Yes.
So why we are taking like alpha and beta here? We have to verify the relationship between the zeros and coefficient of a polynomial. So let's verify this. Sum of zeros is what?
Alpha plus beta.
Alpha plus beta. How much? Minus 1 by 3 plus 3 by 2. LCM is what? 6. So minus 2 plus 9. So 7 by 6. Correct? Isn't it, people? Sum
Yes,
of zeros is what? 7 by 6 I got. Isn't it? So sum of zeros, what we know here? Minus b by a we know. Correct? So minus b by a is what? Given minus b by a.
7.
Look at it here. Minus b by a.
Minus 7.
Minus into minus by a is what? 6. 7 by 6. So 7 by 6 I must get here. Check. Here, look at this. 7 by 6 I got or not?
Yes.
Both are matching, both are same. So verified. We verified or not? Isn't it, guys? Are you able to follow the class? Very
Yes,
simple.
sir.
Yes, sir.
That is why I'm going somewhat fast. Already we learned all this.
In quadratic equation.
Okay, beta. Quadratic equation also we learned. So look at sum of the zeros I got, and as per the formula I verified. Both are same. Verified. Product of the zeros is what? I'm not writing good, guys. 1 second. Product of the zeros is what? Alpha beta basically. So what was that? Product alpha beta is what? Minus 1 by 3 into 3 by 2. So minus 1 by 2 is the right answer. Minus 1 by 2 is the product of the zeros. But as per the product of the zeros, what? C by a. What was C? What is C? C by a is what? C by a is what? Minus 3 by 6. Minus 1 by 2. Correct? So I need to get minus 1 by 2. Look at this. Minus 1 by 2 I got. C by a is 1 by 2. Here also minus 1 by 2. Both are same. Verified. Or not? Both are same here. Verified. Correct? Any
Yes,
doubt?
sir. No, sir.
So this is how we can solve this, guys. I'll stop here, and please go through the polynomials worksheet as well. So please try to solve polynomials worksheet as well as real numbers worksheet. And if at all you have any doubts, beta, just come up with the doubts. so that we can discuss. And the next class I'll be going with fully Olympiad questions. Hope it is clear. Any doubts so far?
No
So
doubts,
far,
sir.
whatever we discussed, any doubts? Yes, Akshara.
No, in the ending you told something, sir. You told to leave, so I left. I don't know what you told like that.
Yes,
Can you tell
Akshara, I
again?
can't hear you properly. Can you speak loudly?
Sir, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Tell me.
Sir, last class, after the class ended, you told something, right?
What I told?
Sir, you said something. You have to say something. You told we can leave again. You were like, I have to tell you something. You were telling, and I actually left because you told we can leave.
I didn't get you. I told that. Okay, okay. 1 second. So 1 second. Let me stop recording, guys. Okay. Thank you, children. Thank you. Please finish the work, the homework problems. Thank you.